Meow, Hooper's cat, live from the GTA. Warmer today, it's about -5 centigrade and there's very little wind chill. It's not too bad. Everything's frozen up. The video is not going to be edited because it's on my iPad. Just to let you know, I want to talk a bit about Buffalo. A lot of people are saying a lot of daft things about Buffalo. Well, the Buffalo Police Department faced with several things. One, not everybody could get to work by any means. Two, they didn't have enough gas and nowhere to get gas. Three, the roads were completely full of snow and snowplows couldn't move. So they were faced with protect property or try and rescue people in cars who had died and were dying. So they did the life saving. So they allowed property to be done in. What they're doing in Newmarket, we had it a lot less in Buffalo, is that the council's out clearing sidewalks, clearing trails and essentially clearing drains. So when it melts, and it will melt very shortly, the water has somewhere to go and it won't go flooding into basements. So be aware of that. Have a look around you. Think about where you're going to flood. The looting that happened in Buffalo, mostly from what I can see, was very sporadic, and it was mostly limited to one area where they had no power and people had no water because the mains wasn't working and they had no power, so they couldn't cook anything. So what people did was they went to the 7-Elevens and they broke in and they took water cases and they took food that could be eaten and they took it away for themselves and for others in their area. Is that looting or is that repositioning of supplies, knowing that this is a temporary SHCF, knowing that the cameras are out because there's no power, and knowing that people are in dire need? That's what was going on. This isn't anarchy, this isn't the lefties rising up and taking what's rightfully yours. This isn't the end of times. This is people adapting to change circumstances in this here term, getting together in small local bands and doing things that are illegal normally to help everybody in their community out. It's too easy to say, yeah, well, they're all idiots for driving on the roads. People in Buffalo, people in Toronto, where I am right now, are very used to snow conditions and are very used to driving around. Now, I wouldn't have done it, but they did, and a lot of people here did. And we were lucky. We got a third of the snow we were supposed to get here. We were very, very lucky. But when it gets to -20, -40 Fahrenheit, you need to have heat, you need to have decent clothing. When people say you can camp out overnight without heat in those conditions, they're lying to you. You have to have heat, or you have to be eating vast quantities like 5,000 to 6,000 calories of food a day to generate heat. You can walk around in those conditions like I am, well layered up, and it's still bitterly cold and the heat's sapping away from you, but as long as you can keep walking, you're okay. The problem is when you stop walking, the wind just takes any heat that's there, and the heat is leaking because we're not wearing spacesuits, and will suck you dry and kill you quite quickly, and that's unfortunate. So have a good think about these storms. Don't go to the this was civil war, everybody's going to die, I need to have guns. Go to the point where I need to have a supplementary heat source that will last for a week or two easily and not kill me with carbon monoxide no matter what. Be very aware of the fact that the climate is changing and it's becoming less and less habitable for humanity, and that will be an ongoing process. But this snow will melt and it will get very hot here, much hotter than normal within a week, and then that will cause a whole bunch of different things. On good news, Kitty's dad's doing quite well. We are starting to limit them, can't edit, sorry. Kitty's dad's doing well, he's doing great with the transfers. We've still got some work to do with them, probably in a couple more days, and maybe we'll be able to go back, I'm not sure. They're going to be well looked after, we're going to keep popping up quite regularly. Little Wolfie went to his first Christmas party yesterday and he thoroughly enjoyed it, and he was given roast beef and he was very, very happy with that, so he had a good Christmas. I hope you had a good Christmas, I hope you stayed safe. Have a plan in place to help yourself and others if mains fails. Because in most SHCF you lose power and water and heat and cooling in the summer. Think about that. Transportation, car transportation stops. I was in a grocery store yesterday because we got some vegan food to take with us to the party because we figured they wouldn't have any vegan food, and we were right. We're good guests, so we don't actually turn up and complain. So one of the things with it is that the grocery store had very little fresh food, not much bread. A lot of the store shelves were half empty because there's no trucks getting through for 2 or 3 days because of Christmas, and also because of the snow around Toronto. Food trucks haven't been moving. That's slowly going to get back to normal, but it'll take a few days to a few weeks to get back to real normal, and you need to be prepped. You need to have a buffer of at least a couple of weeks of food and water that independently of anything else you can rely on. And that's really, really critical. I don't care what sort of bug out bag you have or how many guns you have. If you don't have enough food, water and heat and light to get you through 2 weeks, you're not prepped. And I mean stuff you have available to you at all times. So really beef up those car kits, think about what's going in them, I'm probably going to have a redesign of mine. I'm going to look at getting some sleeping bags because I don't have sleeping bags in the car kit. Probably should, and I will probably from now on. So that's it from me. This is December 27th and I am halfway through day 37 of my walking streak where I walk an hour or more a day. If we got buffalo weather, I would have done what I did yesterday with Kitty's mom. Down one flight, across the corridors, down another flight, back again across the corridors, and I would have kept doing that until I'd done my hour. Sometimes it's not safe to run, sometimes it's not safe to walk outdoors, but where you can, you should. Keep fit, keep healthy, keep cheerful, and we're going to have a great 2023, I hope. Love you all, thanks for watching, toodles.